My name's Jason Monkman. I'm from Victoria, BC. It seems kind of confined and really close to each other. It almost seems like a concentration camp. Like you can hear everybody in the tent next to you, whatever they're doing, you can almost hear what they're saying. It just seems like we're being monitored too, like with the security and stuff. Uh, it's almost like a isolation sort of situation, and I think it's getting worse. They're setting up. They got gates and stuff around us. It's almost like they're closing us in. Walking around, looking in tents, telling people to, they can't have a friend over and stuff like that. I don't like being isolated in isolation, and people just sitting in tents and freezing and stuff. Haven't had a lot of heat. They said that there was no fires allowed in the, like you gotta burn candles. We gotta stay warm somehow. And as far as that, they weren't allowing heat in there, like say a Coleman stove, or they said that even propane heaters weren't even allowed. So, you know, it's kind of like they're trying to rule us and just put us in a tent, tell you to stay there. We do get food. They do bring food, and it's got no flavor to it. They don't put any salt or anything in it, but they do that, and some of the things are very good actually. That actually is from the community and from the Victoria people, and I want to thank them for being so generous and coming down and giving like dry socks, sweaters, coats, blankets, stuff like that. It got cold there for a while. I could hear people in the tent just shivering, and you check on your neighbors and stuff and make sure they're doing all right, because I've been with these people since Centennial. You know, I had a mother die, and I looked after her for a long time, and when she passed, I was not on that lease, and I'm out on the street now, and I just I was going through some rough times. I had 6 people die in a row, and even a little baby niece that was born. We're not all down here because of drugs and whatever. Some of us are battling huge depression, and it's hard to get along. Like, some people, I've seen people have to go to EMI. That's how far it's gone. And I think a lot of the people with their views on the situation, they scoff as they walk by. They're judges. Who is anyone to judge anybody? I don't judge you. I don't. Are you really better than us? Or anyone? You think about that. Anything could happen. Sometimes it's magic, sometimes it's tragic. You could be on top, you could be in the bottom of the gutter the next day. You don't know. You ever play stock market? Yeah, well, things happen. And it's not easy out here. But, there's some loving souls and there's some loving people. And, just in Victoria itself, they've come through for us time and time again. It just seems, some things just seem like we're being really confined and pushed in and stretched in and gated in. Like, it just doesn't seem so right. It's not so fancy free. Like, all the leaves in the park, they came by and pushed all the leaves into the gutters. So those gutters filled up with leaves. They didn't clean those leaves up. They left those leaves up for 3 weeks just at Crystal Pool. And what happens when leaves get in gutters? I think you guys have seen it before. Everyone's seen it before. There's going to be a buildup, and there's going to be a buildup of water, and they overflow. And they overflowed right in the park. And I didn't realize that Crystal Pool when we were, I was one of the last people to move. I didn't want to come into a concentration camp. That's what I called it. My buddy came from, he came down and he looked at this and he cried. He cried. He said, "You guys are in a concentration camp." And I said, "Sure seems like it." I had no choice to move my tent. I had a nice, I had almost a 1-bedroom apartment there. I had a single bed. I had a dresser. I had, I had at least a little bit of, pride and respect. And some people need that. This cold spell's been pretty hard. It's just, it hasn't been so fun. But, I've tried to keep the situations up. I play a little guitar, sing a few songs. I'm quite a character. And I try to bring some smiles and it's kind of hard when people are saying like, you can't go visit a buddy over there and, have a beer and be happy. Yeah, no, you gotta go. No. That's not right.
So what's going to happen if they offer you a spot at the arena? Are you going to want to go in, or are you
I would love to go in and have a shower. I hate having to rely on walking down to our place and stand in a line up and maybe write my name down and make a shower time and stuff. And well, at least we got water here. At Crystal, there wasn't much water. There was just a water fountain, you could go fill. But they put a tap outside the urinals over here, and you can wash your hands, and that's good. I think showering is kind of a necessity.
I would agree. If you could be anywhere or doing anything in your life right now, what would you be doing? Where would you be?
Well, I'm trying my best right now, trying to get a full-time job and back to work. And I'm going to see how many hours I can get. And maybe I can afford to, maybe rent. Everything's so expensive right now. And hard to find. The bachelors that I was looking at were going around from 900, like maybe 750, okay? We'll go 750 because that's kind of lowballing it. And then 1200, 1300, a bachelor, a single guy, $1,300. It's a hard road. It's a hard road, man. And there's no fun involved. It's just straight work and go to bed. And you know what? A lot of us can't put in those hours. Like, I've been in a serious car accident. I'm a worker. There's lots of workers out here that, they suffered injuries and they can't afford the rent. They're hurt. Crushed left foot, pins through my left ankle, chipped hip, dislocated hip. I wasn't supposed to use my hand or walk without a prosthetic leg. And I still got to go to work just to try to make ends meet. And you guys don't know the pain. I don't do pills and stuff like that because, I don't like pills.
Your blue sky, if I'm getting this right, is to be working.
Well, I'd like to get back to work so I can get out of here. Like, I want to work. It's just, I work for basically a year. I don't want to get into this, but I worked straight for about a year and a half, 2 years, just to forget about my mother's death. And I don't want to get into that because it's pretty serious what happened to her, and that's a medical situation. Be a spirit, be a guide. Try to fucking love your neighbors. We're in the worst weather and stuff like that, and people with problems and depression and whatever, we might scoff and get mad at one another, and occasionally whatever, there's problems here, yeah. But you know what, as a group, we're kind of a family, a tribe. We talked to one another. Hey bud, you kind of screwed up the other night, you went off. And you know what, that's like a family in a way. Just because your brother's, been a bad boy, you don't have to put him in a tent outside in the backyard. But I don't know, that's where we are, in a parking lot. It ain't paradise in this parking lot. There's a song about that. Hey, paradise, put up a parking lot. Yeah, bop, 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 yeah. But no, it's not paradise in this parking lot. I don't know if you've seen, you know, I'm lucky I do have some of the best guys I've met, you know. And they're really cool. They worked hard all night long, you know, shoveling snow off tents so they can't collapse all night long. And just, you know, there's people, they're sick and they, you know, they need help. And just the, you know, to see the love, man, that comes across. It's not all, everybody thinks these guys are just all drug addicts. And, you know, like I said, there's guys with disabilities. There's guys that have been in accidents with people that lost family and due to COVID. And they're out here. Yeah, man, it's hard. I don't know. Try to love one another and still keep a positive attitude. We do down here. It's hard, but we get through.